everyone, this is Ryan. Today we're going to go take our plane up for some practice stalls, pattern work, and some basic maneuvers. I am a student pilot here at Alpha Flights, and let's get this plane out of the hangar and go flying.
Clear prop!
Hear me all right? Yeah. Cool. All right. Aspen radios are on and checked. Flaps, we're going to retract those. Feet on brakes. All right. Before takeoff, parking brake is off. Passenger seats locked and in the upright position. Seat belts, cabin doors, weather. We're going to... All right, so our wind's coming at 040 at 7 knots. So we're going to be taking off on runway 10 would be closer. Yep. Alright. Plymouth traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, taxiing runway 10 via Alpha, Plymouth. Alright, check left, right, clear. Alright, lights off, flight controls free and clear. Those are good. And flight instruments, check and set. That's set. Good. Fuel. Yep. Cap. Magnetos. Alright, check left. Slight drop. Back to both. And right. Slight drop. Back to both. Well, hold on. Let me go back to right real quick. Okay, yeah, we're good. Engine instruments are all in the green. Annunciator panel, good. Throttle, idle. 1, 2, 3, good. Plymouth traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, entering runway 10, Plymouth traffic. Toga, and then say cross. Rotate. Picture 74. Traffic, all lights come on, good, and then we'll do the clearing turn, clear left, straight.
So right now we're just getting ready for power on and power off stalls.
Alright, so we're going to idle back to 1500, under 110, flaps 10, yep, under 85, flaps 20 and 30. And we're pitching for 65, and then cap. Yep. So yep. Lake Max is, the lake below us is completely frozen over. Alright, so I got my sight, everything's good, did my clearing turns, so I'm gonna power back to 1500, under 110, flaps 10. And we're just doing flaps 10, right? Yeah, okay. So then we're gonna wait for 55. Still got my visual reference. Alright, 55. 2,400. Oh, okay. Yep. Come on. There it goes. Yep, right there. Just down. Positive rate. Oh yeah, 74. Positive rate. 74. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna power back to 1500, under 110, flaps 10. Limit traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, 10 miles south of the airport, runway 10. Limit. Alright, so as we're coming in, okay, we're going to maintain 23, add just a touch of power here. So what I'm going to do is get basically in between those two, head straight, and then take a 45 to the upwind, and join the upwind at a 45. Alright, so we're about 7 miles out still. Alright, there we are, we're about 5 miles away. Alright, we need to be at about 2,000, so I'm going to pitch down. Limit traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, 5 miles south of the airport, runway 10. Limit. Limit traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, 3 miles south, runway 10. Limit. Limit traffic, Skyhawk 143 Mike Echo, entering runway upwind for runway 10. Limit. Alright, full power. No rudder. there's a deer on the runway, then we're gonna go around. Alright, oh, whoa. Okay. Good. Yeah, little crosswind there, but not bad. Plymouth traffic, Skyhawk 143, Mike Echo, clear runway 10, Plymouth. Plymouth traffic, Skyhawk 143, Mike Echo, taxiing via Alpha to Ram, Plymouth.
If you guys like that content, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Like I said, I'm just a student and I'm just trying to document my entire process to becoming a private pilot. So thanks for watching.